Okay, this is part 2 of 2 videos for Algebra 1, Chapter 8 Practice Test Solutions. Number 16, we're ready for factor this trinomial. Well, if I'm going to factor it and I know to get x to the 4th, I'm probably going to have x squared. And then to get 1, I'm going to have 1 times 1, the only way to get 1. So I would just check my inside and outside terms. So that would be an x squared, that would be an x squared, and I would have 2 of those, so 2x squared in the middle, which is what I want. So I'm looking for x squared plus 1, and since it's the same thing, basically you're squaring that, x squared plus 1 squared, since it's the same thing inside my binomials. Number 17, factor this trinomial. So let's see, lots of different ways we could do this. Basically at this point, I would kind of use my multiple choice to my advantage. You know that when you're multiplying these first terms, you need a 35, which all of them give you. Your last terms need to be a negative 12. So basically, you're checking your inside-outside terms to get a negative 1. So I would have a negative 20 plus 21. That would give me a positive 1. I would have a positive 20 minus 21. That's a negative 1, so that might be it. I would have a 15 minus 28, which is a negative like 13, so that can't be it. I'm thinking C. Number 18. I have to factor this negative 3x squared plus 26x minus 16. So let's see. I would start to use your multiple choice to your advantage. Just kind of double check and make sure that all of your n terms equal negative 16. And all of your first terms equal negative 3x. This doesn't, because a 3x times a positive x gives me a positive x. That would give me a negative. Again, this would give me a positive, so it's between these two here. And then I would have, let's see, distribute that negative inside. So I would have a negative 2 and a negative 24, which is a negative 26. Here I would have a positive 2 plus 24, which is a positive 26. So definitely C on that. Number 19, what is a binomial factor? So this one you're actually going to have to factor out because they're just wanting one of your binomial factors. They're setting it up to where you cannot just FOIL your options. So you know you're going to have a 5x and an x. And then your factors of 15 are going to be 1 and 15 or 5 and 3. So I would just try, let's see, 5 here and 3 here, and then check my inside-outside terms. So I'd have a 25x plus 3x, which is 28. So we got it on the first shot. So let's see which one we have. It looks like D like dog, 5x plus 3. Number 20, determine whether this is a perfect square. If so, factor it. If not, explain why. Well, let's go ahead and square root. If I square root that, I get 4x, because 4x times itself equals 16x squared. And if I square root this positive 9, I get a positive 3, but they have to add to be a negative, so I know both are negative. Then I'm going to check my inside-outside terms. I have a negative 12x and a negative 12x, which is a negative 24x, which is what I want. So I would say yes on this one. And your answer is 4x minus 3 squared, so B like boy. 21. Determine whether this is a difference of 2 squares. If so, factor it. If not, explain why. A difference of 2 squares is kind of like a perfect square, except for one is positive and one is negative inside your binomial. So you're pretty much just approaching it similar. You're square rooting, so you have a 5h, and when you square root this, you get, let's see, a 9b squared. 9b squared. And so I check my inside-outside terms. I have a negative 45b squared h and a positive 45b squared h. And if you notice, these are going to cancel. So yes, it is a difference of 2 squares. And I'm looking for 5h plus 9b squared. Let's see, 5h plus 9b squared and 5h minus 9b squared. Looks like letter C. 22, find all possible values of b such that 4x squared plus bx plus 3 can be factored. So basically they're saying, looking at your your factors of 3 here, you're going to have 3 times 1. And looking at your options for 4, it's 4 times 1 or 2 times 2. So if you're going to explore all of your options, your inside-outside terms would give you 4 plus 3, which is 7, 12 plus 1, which is 13, and 6 plus 2, which is 8. So any values of b that are these could be factored. So A, list all of those. 23, factor this trinomial. So again, I'm just going to use my multiple choice to my advantage. I know I have a positive 15 here. A positive times a negative is not positive. Same thing on letter C. Now I know they're adding to be positive in the middle, so both cannot be negative. So my answer is just D. I just eliminated it without even really doing any math. Final problem here. Factor this constructed response style. So I know to get a 5x squared, I'm doing a 5x and a 1x. I know both are positive. And then to get to 27, I'm going to have to do a 5 times a 2 would give me 25x plus 2x, which is 27x. So this is my answer right here. All right, that concludes video 2 of 2 for Chapter 8, Algebra 1 Practice Test Solutions.